Hello and welcome to another update on my Mets Realm theme team. This is Out of the Park Baseball 25 Perfect Team, and we're in the year 2033. And as you remember, I'm in the Stone League now, so I'm in the one right above Rookie. So that's kind of disappointing. We fell this low, but in this season we're gonna see how we did, see if there is some hope, and discuss how we finish this season. So, and the plans for the future. Now, you also remember I said that I would be giving this game a couple more weeks until I continue, and so you'll have a better idea at the end of this video how much I will continue. So I'm not going to do my game-by-game breakdown of my pitchers like I did before. I'm going to do the shorter versions because I think it's a little easier. You don't need to know the game-by-game stuff a whole lot, but I will talk about certain things. So in any case, let's get to our pitching. And as you see, we're starting the season off with Noah Syndergaard. We got him at the end of the previous season, and he turned out to be pretty good. 16 wins, 2.83 ERA. Can't complain. So let's kind of see a snapshot of how his stats look like. So let's see. Let's just see how he started his season. He started his season a bit rough, giving up 6 earned runs in April, and then he kind of steadied up, hovering between late 2 ERA and high 2s and low 3s. Never really ballooned up that much. Okay, and let's go back to starting pitching. So I'm impressed. I was very happy with Noah Syndergaard. He was a little bit shaky occasionally, but in the end, 2.83 ERA. That's what I need. I need stabilization for my pitching. Craig Swan, 2.87 ERA, 17 wins. This was a card that I was hoping would perform well because I had invested so much into him. He's a 5-star combinator, Craig Swan. This is what he looks like. And so there were periods where I wasn't quite sure whether he would pan out, but he started with giving up 4 earned runs, which made me concerned. Then he had a rough patch in June where he got up to like 3.26. And then he kind of held steady around high 2s, low 3s for the entire season. And so he was one of my better pitchers this season. So I can't really complain about that. And then we got Bobby Ojeda. This is an interesting case right here. Let's take a look. 3.25 ERA, 13-6. As you can see by the wins, wins aren't always indicative of performance if you know anything about baseball. But he was a little bit on the shakier side. Let's go to the pitching log here. And yeah, he started the season off pretty well. And I think it was him that ballooned up to, he got as high as like a 4 ERA. No, he stayed around 3s. I'm mixing him up with someone else, actually. But yeah, he stayed at like low 3s, occasionally mid to high 3s with 3.43. And and yeah, generally pretty good with Bobby Ojeda. So I would say the only like slight disappointment is that I thought maybe he would be one of my like maybe a second starter, but now that I kind of think about it, Craig Swan's card is better than Ojeda's card as a 5-star combinator. So that's why that happened. And then we got Ron Darling, a 3.46 ERA. This was the first season that I used his combinator card. Let's go take a look at that. And he was a little shakier. So he started off pretty well, and then he went to, let's see, where did he go? He went to a 4 ERA in late June. He kind of ballooned up there with some 7 earned runs starts back to back. And so that put his ERA from 2.89 to 4.12, which is not great. And then he had a sort of weak stretch, giving up 5 and 4 earned runs in 4 games, in 4 starts. And so I guess, and then he had this stretch in the beginning too, where he went from 2.72 to 3.63. But if you really look at it as a 4th starter, not bad. Can't complain about that from a 4th starter. So that's that's that. And I should say before I continue, if you hear a fan in the background, that's my fan cooling my warm room. So I apologize if you hear a fan in the background, but that's what it is. All right, so let's go to Viola. This is the rough one. 10 and 11, 4.21. So he was in dangerous positions this year where he almost got sent down or moved to the pen. So he started off okay until May, and then he gave up 5 earned runs, 7 earned runs, and that put his ERA at 4.87. And then he sort of never, then he had like 2 4s, and then had 2 5 earned run games in July, kept his ERA at 4.69. And then, so he had some rough, he was sort of steadied in between 4 and 5, which is not good. But if he had gone into 6 earned run territory, then I probably would have sent him down or moved him to the pen. So there's that. Now we go to a more complicated predicament for me. My bullpen. You'll notice a lot of bad numbers here. So Jake Diekman, a surprise closer with a 2.62 ERA and 20 saves. Now, when I manage my pen in this kind of situation where I don't have much to work with, I usually just go with the hot hand and who's working it. So Jake Diekman got the closer's job because he was pitching the best in the beginning. And Doc got the setup because he was doing well in the beginning, and Orozco was one of my setups in the beginning, but then he kind of fell off near the end. And so Jake Diekman, let's just take a look at him. He's not someone that I would necessarily rely on in the future as a closer. but he did okay. You know, I can't complain too much. Let's see, 1 blown save, 2 blown saves, 3. How many blown saves is he? Blown saves. I don't see it there. But, yeah, he doesn't have that many blown saves. So, 4, 5. And then he had 6 losses. So, he's not locked down, but a 2.4 ERA for 2.62 ERA for him is amazing, considering the circumstance. But I couldn't really rely on anybody else, so it is what it is. I had Ottavino starting as a closer, and he got moved down. That's why he has 13 saves. You can't see the saves on the right, but he's got 13. Roger McDowell. So Doc Gooden, he is also a combinator card for me, and I actually leveled him up 1 star for the season, and I think I put another star later at some point as well. And then, so just to give you a brief look of what he's at now, he's here, and eventually he will be here with the green stuff, the light green teal. So he should be a better pitcher in the end. And so now, and then for McDowell, he's a combinator as well, a level 2. He was level 1 most of the season. And so I just put him level 2 before, like a few hours before doing this, after everything in the season finished, because I realized, you know what, my pen's got to get better, so I can't really rely on a whole lot of people here. So I put him at 2 stars for now, and eventually he'll look like this at 5. Which is a hell of a lot better than this. So, moving stuff up a bit and moving stuff into the teal. So, that's good. And then we got Orozco, another combinator. I've got him at 1 star, but he kind of fell off a bit. And so he was doing well through May. In the beginning of May, he had a 2.79 ERA, and then he ballooned up to 4.22. Then he eventually sort of went to 4 ERA, 4.5 in June. And then he went back down, and then ballooned back up in July. And that's when I had to pull the plug on Mr. Orozco in the setup role. So then we had Ottavino, who was bad, but not bad enough to avoid high leverage. Danny Frisella was terrible all year. He had like a 6 ERA most of the year. And Brooks Raley, same thing. Well, not the same thing. He actually was okay. He was hovering around 4 most of the year, but I couldn't trust him, so that's that. And then I had Quintana as my long reliever, and I wanted to replace him with Severino at the end of the year. So that's that with my pitching. So good starting pitching, decent closing, and horrible rest of the bullpen. Keep that in mind. All right, so now we go to our lineup. And here we go. So this is the lineup that I finished the season with. And you'll notice some familiar faces and some older faces. So since we're a league below, our cards are a little more effective. And so, but a lot more effective than I thought they would be. So Dave Magadan, 318 average, 9 homers, 62 RBIs. I'm not going to read through the lineup. You can just look at it yourself. Now let's go to, here are the stats. So Dave Magadan, 318, 290 for Dom Smith, 287 for Marte. Reyes was my shortstop, batting 280. He's a combinator as well. Dave Magadan, I should tell you, is a combinator, and he was level 2 the whole season, and I upgraded him to 3 at the end of the season. So his card looks like this now. It will eventually be this. Pretty decent, average, good card for average. So there's that. And let's go here. And then Dom Smith is also a combinator, but his card is a little harder to upgrade. So he had 14 homers, 77 RBIs. Marte had a good year, 287, 11 homers, 53 RBIs, 75 runs. Reyes, who I mentioned, 280, 29 RBIs, 6 triples, 12 doubles, 101 hits. He's a combinator as well. I had him at shortstop because Lindor wasn't doing much for me. Let's see. And, yeah. So, he was, let's see, splits. Here we go. He batted 372 against lefties and 267 versus righties. And the combinator upgrade I did at the end of the season, so he'll have that going into the next season. All right, now we go to Ronnie Mauricio was the standout. 37 homers, 102 RBIs, 87 runs, 265 average. So that was really surprising, and I have his combinator card as well. But it's not upgraded, and his card is probably going to be the hardest to upgrade if I choose to go that route. But, yeah, so that's that for him. And Howard Johnson, 264. He's got a fully upgraded combinator card. Batting, and he hit 34 homers, 100 RBIs, and 88 runs. So this is what his fully upgraded combinator looks like, if you're wondering. Okay. Then I had Drew Gilbert that I put at the end of the season. He batted 246. Didn't do that great. 5 homers, 27 RBIs. Yeah, he got inserted later in the season. Lindor, he batted 246, but he was pretty much a defensive replacement. So, Duffy Dyer, he's my catching ability catcher. Don't expect much from him. He batted 225. But I do have the combinator of him, and he's at 3 because I wanted to get his power stuff on the bottom here up to the green level. Because after that, it doesn't jump that far, but I wanted to get him at the sort of from yellow into green, at least. And so hopefully he does better next year. I think he had a good month after I did that too. So, Pete Alonso, he had 33 homers and 89 RBIs, and you can't see, but he has a cold symbol next to him right now. And yeah, I don't know what to make of Pete Alonso. He hits sometimes, he doesn't hit. I had him benched at some point because he wasn't doing a whole lot. But yeah, so this is likely going to be the lineup that starts next season, and then we will continue. I had Brandon Nimmo up originally, but he was struggling, so that's why I have Drew Gilbert in there instead. And yeah, that's pretty much it for my hitting. All right, so now that you have seen my now that you have seen my hitting, my pitching, how well do you think I did? You think I made the playoffs? You think I missed the playoffs? You think I got in? I didn't get in? What do you think happened? Well, you're going to find out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I finished with a record of 90 and 72. And we made it to the championship series, which means we are advancing back into the Iron League next season because the top 4 advance. So that's the good news. So I lost to the best team, 120 wins and 42. The Silver Spring Huskies, they won the league. And so congratulations to them. They beat me in 7 games in the championship series. And they beat this team, the second best team, 108 wins. And I came in 3rd. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see this, my team was 10th in runs, 4th in homers, 14th in average, 3rd in ERA, 14th in Ks, and 12th in defensive efficiency. Let's go to the league leaders because that's kind of interesting. My pitching was up there. I had Syndergaard and Swan in the top 5 for ERA, which is impressive. And Syndergaard, number 2 in WAR. I will say for batting leaders, Ronnie Mauricio was in the top bunch for the first half of the season, and then he kind of fell off. So now I'm sure before now that I've given you the overall standings and such, let's go to the gory details of what happened. So I won the division series 3-1, which was good. Then I advanced to play the Silver Spring Huskies, and let's go to the October results right here. Might have to go full screen to see this. So I won 3-1, and then I played these Huskies, and then I won the first 3 games, and then they reverse sweeped me 4 games in a row. I lost. So that's kind of disappointing. Although it's good that I advanced, it's kind of disappointing. But even more disappointing, Let's see. I'll show you the guy. Doc Gooden gave up 4 earned runs in this game right here. In game 4. Doc Gooden pitched. Not in this game. Syndergaard gave up 6 runs. He blew that game. And Swan blew this game, gave up 6. So my top 2 pitchers blew games. Blew these 2. And then the last game was the heartbreaker, because game 7, Gooden blew the saves and gave up 2 earned runs in the 8th inning to give them the lead. And so Doc Gooden blew it for me, which is disappointing. But what's kind of annoying is that I couldn't be at my computer today, so if I was at my computer, I probably would have pulled Gooden from the setup role and put somebody else. So anyway, it worked out anyway because we're still advancing, and so I'm okay with it. It's good. It's annoying and probably avoidable, but I feel like we did a pretty good job this season. 90 wins. We started off strong. Let's go to our info, team stats. We started April 20-5, then May 13-15, and a bit disappointing. 14-14 in June, July 14-11. In August, we were 17-10. September, we kind of slid back 11-15, plus the 2 regular season games in October, so 11-17 to end the season. Not a great ending, but 90-win team, can't complain about that, right? So, and let's see, what else am I missing here? There's I showed you relegations. Oh, regular standings. I won the division by 7 games, and going into the last day, I was up 13. This team, Jabin Cats, won a bunch of games, and so they cut it down a bit. And so I was kind of annoyed by that. But we had the division on lock, up 13 going into September. So I was thrilled. So anyway, I want to thank you for watching my my update, more positive one, because we're moving back up, and we're going to see if we can find our footing now. And so, yeah. As you can see, I got 157 packs. I'm not going to open them yet, but I will soon. And, yeah, maybe we'll get a card that we need. This is a card that we are seeking at some point. Christian Scott for the Mets. They just released this week. Future Legends, so that will be a card we are hunting for in the future. And, as always, updating our Combinator cards to make them better as well. So, yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, or you enjoyed the series, or my channel in general, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's much appreciated, and does help me. And if you want to leave a comment to ask me a question, I'm more than welcome to answer. And let's see, Substack, my newsletter, is free. I do digest content. Going to be focusing on a lot of indie games. There are a lot of announcements coming up soon with all of the various conventions. So I'll be talking about that. And so, yeah, go to my free Substack newsletter. Subscribe for free. That helps me a lot too. It's the one thing that I'm trying to build the most out of everything. So if you can support my writing, that would be appreciated. And you don't have to pay a thing. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we do well in 2024 in the Iron League. Have a nice day.